Guys, what is up? We are out making another video, and guess what? You're gonna guess it. We're out on another e-bike, but this time around, guys, this is no joke. This is 100% the best e-bike I have ridden, hands down, and we're gonna get into it in just a second up here on the road. And again, like I've said with all my e-bikes, I am so specific about keeping them looking nice. It takes me forever to peel off the film on the screen. I left the bar, the brake lever protective ends on it for now. Like, I'll get to it, guys, but I like leaving those on as long as I can to make this thing look nice. I don't know, I'll probably get to it in a couple days. One thing right off the bat you guys may notice that most of my other bikes did not have is a mirror, and this thing came with two of them. I only put one on currently. I may throw the other one on the right side as well, but we'll see. But guys, with that being said, this bike that I am on today is the Cyrusher Ranger. This thing is a monster, and one of the biggest features on it that I absolutely love is the fact that this thing is dual suspension, and it is, oh my gosh, so much smoother. And by dual suspension, I mean it has full suspension in the front and it has full air suspension in the rear, which again to me is ridiculous because every e-bike I've ridden so far has been hardtails, which is just the suspension in the front, nothing in the back. So this thing is like when I go riding down a path or anything that's bumpy, it just cruises right over it and it feels so good. And the Shimano 9-gear shifter here, guys, is so freaking smooth. Like, guys, when I say smooth, I mean like click of a button, like look at this downshifting. It's like there's no clanking, there's no anything. It just so smooth, dude, so smooth. It may sound funny that I'm getting so pumped over it, but like truthfully, it just feels so good so far. As usual, we'll go over some of the speeds and stuff like that. I'll get some nice little B-roll shots for you guys too up here. Here we're off-road, and you can probably already tell the difference in my voice. Some of the other videos when I go off-road, I'm just like, ugh. Here it's like, I can't really feel, like you can definitely feel it. We're off-road, but it just goes over it so smooth, guys. Like this air suspension in the rear makes all the difference in the world. Now this thing is currently set up to have 1 through 5 pedal assist modes. The cool thing is you can go in the programming section and set it up to 1 through 9, which is may seem overkill, but if you like getting those really minor adjustments in there for your pedal assist, that would be the setting for you. I, like I said, currently left it at 1 through 5 because it seems like a nice in-between number, you know what I mean? So I like it there. It's just a good average. So top speed on this thing with just the throttle, because I believe this is a class 3 e-bike. Throttle alone, it's only going to go 20 miles an hour. But if you slap on pedal assist and gear this thing all the way up, you're going to reach about 30 miles per hour, which is plenty fast, obviously. It's about the same as most of the other bikes we have ridden, but that's pretty quick. Personally, I would like if the throttle could take you all the way there as well. A lot of the other bikes I had, the throttle would take you to that 30 miles an hour, or well, let's get technical, I guess 28 miles an hour, right? This throttle won't. It's only going to take you to 20, unfortunately, but with pedal assist, you are going to get up to, you know, like a good 30 miles an hour. Weight capacity on this bike is roughly 330 pounds, which, I mean, that's a lot. You can pretty much put anyone on this bike. You can put 4 people on this bike, depending on, well, that's dramatic. Maybe a couple people. But yeah, 330 pounds. That's a big weight capacity. I like it. I don't got to worry about it. But, you know, for any of you bigger people wondering, there's plenty of weight to work with on this thing. And as in height goes, for comfort on this bike, if you are anywhere from 5'7" to 6'6" in height, you're going to be perfect for this bike. Anything over it, it's going to get a little uncomfortable, and anything under that, it's going to be a bit of a stretch. That's according to Cyrusher themselves. That's the kind of the numbers they put on it. So keep that in mind when going to look at this bike for a purchase. This thing is going to take probably maybe 7 hours to charge. Really depends on how dead it is, how full it is. You know, 7 hours, give or take. And it's going to last you about 56 miles, depending on how you're riding it. But a good average is 50 miles or so. It's a good range. It's going to get you pretty far. And I should clarify, the throttle on this bike is a twist throttle, which is nice. I've had other bikes that are thumb throttles, which is cool too. That definitely works. But I personally like the twist throttle because of my motorcycle. I really do like it. But as you can see, fully twist, no pedal. We are maxed out at 20 miles per hour. Again, plenty of speed to cruise around on, but if you want to get anything past that, I like kicking the gears up, pedaling, and as you can see, we're already, I mean, this thing's already creeping up to 30. Let's just see what we can get it to with me on here. There's 30, 31, 32. So with me on this thing, I can get to 32 miles per hour. Probably faster if I really wanted to. But let's do what we normally do here. Let's pull over in the desert and show you guys some B-roll, give you guys some tips and tricks on the bike, and give you a full rundown on the features and everything else like that. And this is it, guys, the Cyrusher Ranger. First impressions when I saw this color, and especially got out the box, it looks like a KTM to me. Like, it literally has the KTM vibes to it because of the white, black, and orange color combo. It looks sweet. So let me give you guys a quick rundown of what we're looking at here. We'll just start going down the list. Let's start with the easier stuff. The seat, guys, so far feels great. Most other bikes I've ridden, right out of the box, the seat is pretty stiff, and I'm not a fan, but it does take time to break in, right? This one is already fairly soft. I'm not gonna lie and say that the suspension on the rear may not be a big help. It probably is a huge help, but the seat itself doesn't feel so hard on my butt, which is a big plus. You are rocking multiple reflectors on this bike. I believe there are a total of 4. One on the rear wheel, one on the front wheel. You have one you install on the front handlebars, and you have a big rear reflector here right underneath the seat. That's the biggest one. Again, it's not electrical like a taillight, it's just a reflector, but it does get the job done. You have a 9-speed Shimano setup back here, which, again, guys, it shifts so smooth. I love this thing so far. It does a great job, it does its job, and that's all you want it to do, right? But to be honest, it doesn't just do its job, it goes past that. It exceeds it. It is truthfully the smoothest shifting I've felt on any e-bike I've ridden. The Bafang 750 watt motor in the back here, it peaks out at 1200 watts, has plenty of power, and I believe it has a torque sensor in there as well. It's just a really good setup. Like I said, it really gets going. You can feel the power. Again, I wish there wasn't a limit at that 20 mile per hour with the twist throttle, because that would be awesome. But either way, the motor, it's a great motor. And the rear suspension, guys, this is something that I was so pumped about on this bike. It makes it so smooth. I'll keep saying it is so smooth. It reminds me of more of a motorcycle setup, right? You have suspension in the front and the back, which is sweet. It's fully adjustable. As you can see, I have not adjusted it because it felt pretty good right out of the box. But bruh, probably my favorite part of this bike so far. You also have your fully adjustable suspension in the front. And one thing I loved about this is it has, again, so much more of a conventional motorcycle look, like with the forks all the way down. It reminds me how my Grom used to look when I stunted that thing. Most bikes kind of come down and then fork out at the bottom. This has the forks all the way up, which is a friggin' awesome look on it. Now, the one downside you do have with the forks, but it's totally worth the trade-off in my opinion, is you do lose some of your turning radius. As you can see, there's stoppers on the forks to keep it from damaging the bike. They're like rubber stoppers when you hit the bike. But that's, again, just because the forks come all the way up. But again, I will take the look all day and the nice suspension setup with losing a little bit of, turning radius. It's not the end of the world. The headlight on front is a great setup, and it also doubles as a horn, which is pretty cool. Here's the button here. It's more of just a buzz, but it's an electronic horn. You also have just your light button here. You push that, see if you can see. There it is. And you click it again to turn it off. You do have the bar and mirror here. That is a very quick snap on, snap off. There's one for the left and the right. I just didn't put it on the right because you have shifters here. You have your twist throttle. I felt the mirror would be a little overkill for me personally. But yeah, here are your dials on the suspension to fully adjust it if you would like. Again, feels good to me so far. I'm not going to mess with any of that until I kind of feel the bike out a little bit more. Guys, another huge thing on this bike, it has Logan hydraulic brakes. Guys, they're not mechanical brakes like every other bike we've ridden so far. They are hydraulic, and this thing stops like crazy. It is so smooth. It feels so good pulling these levers. I freaking love it. Between the rear suspension and the hydraulic brakes, those are my 2 favorite things so far. And then a close second is the look of the forks, obviously all the way up and down. And the wheels, guys, 26-inch wheels. They're, I think, 4 inches wide. These are some fat wheels. You can rock them on the street. You can rock them in the dirt. As you can see, they have knobbies on them. Max PSI is 30. Minimum is 5. Out the box, I think they were anywhere from 10 to 15. I cranked them up to 25 PSI. Some people may think that's a little high, but that's where I rock them at 25. It feels good. Per usual, seat is fully adjustable. You pull this out, shake the seat up or down. I'm actually going to lower it right now because it felt a little bit high. I'm not super tall. And then you clamp it back closed. And for a reference point, guys, when I was saying the sizing guide, I am 5'9", so this bike fits me pretty much perfectly. Feels great. The chain looks sweet. It's kind of that silver finish on it. Looks awesome. But that's pretty much the rundown of most of the stuff on the bike. I did forget to mention the display. Sorry for the footage, it's not super clear, but we're gonna get more into that on the road. And as usual, I like to mention the kickstand. This is a fatty kickstand, spring-loaded. I love those things when they feel that sturdy on these e-bikes. This down here is where you're gonna charge your battery. The battery does come in and out as well. And it comes with security keys right here. I believe I have them zip tied. Actually, you know what? I think I left them at home. I did, but oh well, I don't need them right now. Just security feature if you want to pop the battery as usual in and out, but I normally don't take it out because my e-bikes stay locked up in the garage. But yeah, let's hop back on the bike. Start heading out this way. Sorry, my display is a little dusty now from us taking her off-road. Dang, this thing freaking takes off, dude. So with the display, guys, I'm really hoping you can see it. It doesn't get too much brighter than this, but in the top left corner, you have your battery life. Right now I'm sitting at 100%. On your right hand side, you have your pedal assist setting 1 through 5 or whatever you have it set to. And then below that, you have your speedometer. That's pretty much it. It's a nice, easy setup. Oh, and to the left is your odometer, how many miles you have put on the bike. And I think you can change it to trip as well. Oh, there we go. This button, I just learned that. You click the side button, that dims it probably for at night. Oh yeah, because that's the headlight button. So you have 2 headlight buttons. Interesting. All right, cool, whatever. So there's 2 headlight buttons. This is how you change to trip. Your max speed, average speed, odometer, all that fun stuff. I just leave it on my odometer here. Yeah, the display is very straightforward. It's not confusing in any way. It has a good, nice, sleek look to it. And honestly, this is one of my favorite displays as well. Most others look a little more just kind of generic and like a calculator. This one has its own look to it, has some colors on it instead of just the black and white. All right, let's up speed again and see how fast we can get this going on this straightaway. Let's see if we can hit 33. Here we go, 31. My max so far is 32. It won't go past 33. Struggling. All right, guys, it looks like 32 is the most I can get out of this thing. But that's fast. That is fast. Let's go ahead and downshift a little bit here. Hit the brakes, slow it down. Good work, bike. Other things worth mentioning, guys. Assembly was very easy, very straightforward. Comes with a manual, and they have an assembly guide video, which as usual I will include those links in the description for you guys to go watch. You can fully adjust your bars and screen and everything. This is the one I need to adjust to straighten my bars. And same with the screen, there's a couple screws on it on the back. You can kind of loosen them and rotate this thing up and down if you'd like. I have mine sitting right where I want it. And same with the bars on the back side, you can adjust it and move them forward or back. I have them setting right where I want them, and normally I decide where I want them based off of my brake lever position. Another thing some of you may want to do, I did not take advantage of, but there are some accessories you can buy for the bike. I believe that's what these bolts are for down here, and there's some on the back. I think you can get a rack for this thing too, like to store stuff on and bring along for your ride, so that's kind of cool. All right, we got a good bumpy road, our classic bumpy road coming up here. We're gonna just throttle through this actually. Max this thing out. What's up, van? Apparently nothing. Yeah, guys, this is so smooth compared to a hardtail bike, it's ridiculous. I don't mean to compare it to other hardtail bikes because, like, it's not fair, but it's my only reference point I have, and it is crazy how much smoother it is when you have rear suspension and front suspension. It's crazy. But guys, one more thing I want to do for you is show you how to go into the programmer's mode and configure stuff in your computer, because I was struggling finding videos that did this. Cyrusher themselves didn't even have a video on their website from what I saw. So we're going to go ahead and open this computer up, show you guys where you can adjust the settings and what they are for. And that's going to be very important, trust me, because I got stuck on one of the settings and I was trying desperately to find it. Thankfully, I found videos here and there and pieced things together and figured it out. But I don't want you guys to have to do that, so I'm going to go through all of this with you guys so you can get a full understanding of what each setting is for, and you won't get stuck on any of them. You can go through, set it up as you please, and go out and ride. So let's go ahead, park this thing, and get it opened up. All right, guys, we got it parked, and we are ready to kind of explore this menu so we can all learn a few things here. Once the bike is powered on, if you want to get into the menu, like where you can program things, you're going to hold the plus and minus button over here until the menu opens up. Now, P1 is going to be your miles per hour in kilometers. So if you want to change it, you're going to press the info button on the top left here on your control. That'll swap here, and then you're going to press plus or minus to adjust that. Go miles per hour or kilometers. I have mine set to kilometers. Then you'll press the info button again to save it. Now we'll go back to the P section here, and we're going to go to 2. This is your voltage. Don't mess with that. That's just the battery there, 52 volt. P3 is your pedal assist. So right now I have 0 through 5. You can adjust it 1 through 5, 0 through 7, 1 through 7, 0 through 9, 1 through 9. Again, it's all personal preference. That's what that is, though. Some people don't know. I leave mine 0 through 5. P4 is the size of your wheels. Normally, they have this set by default, depending on how the bike's set up. They have this set for 30 inches. I know I said they're 26, but I believe they have it kind of adjusted and figured out and configured to make the miles per hour the most accurate, so I just don't even mess with that. I leave that factory. P5, normally, this is your top speed where you unlock it. Normally, when you get this, your screen is probably going to be sitting at 50. You're going to want to crank that all the way up to 100. And now that's not going to unlock the 20 mile per hour limit on the twist throttle, but it will unlock the full speed of the bike when you're doing full pedal assist. That's how I was able to get to 32 miles per hour. All right, next one is P6. This is if you want a password, guys. This is where I got stuck. If you want to set a password, you'll go ahead and go over, put this up to yes, and then you'll click the info button, set the password, and then every time you want to get on your bike, you have to put that password in and press the info button. It'll unlock it. So kind of a cool security feature, but I didn't know what it was, so I actually got stuck on it, and it was very frustrating. But that's what that is. And P7 is your timeout feature, so that's in seconds. So right now I have it set to 60, so if this bike is untouched for 60 seconds, it'll power off to save the battery. You can change it less if you'd like. That is pretty much everything you guys are going to need to know. And when you're done with this menu, you just go ahead and power it off, turn it back on, and all your settings are saved, and you are good to ride. All right, guys, so I hope that little menu made sense to you guys. I did my best to explain it. I hope that answers any of your guys' questions. But if you want to get your very own Cyrusher Ranger, link is in the description as usual. They might even have a sale going on right now. Definitely visit the link and go check it out. But this is for sure my favorite bike yet. 10 out of 10. This is the one. Again, if you have any questions on the bike, DM me on Instagram. I'll be happy to do my best to answer anything. But I'm hoping I covered everything I could and answered all the questions that I had for myself when I first hopped on this bike. As usual, guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next ride.